Hello, everyone. I'm Carol Hutchinson, and I will be your instructor for Christian Faith and Thought. I'm assuming that you are close to your graduation date because generally Christian Faith and Thought comes late in your degree program. And often my students ask me, why do you have to take Christian Faith and Thought? And it's required in all of our degree programs. And sometimes it seems like for some students, it doesn't have any relation to what they have been or will be studying or what they will be doing in life. And the questions of my students I always take seriously. So I began to ponder this, and I have arrived at four reasons why I think it's important and necessary to take Christian Faith and Thought. So I'd like to just mention those reasons before I move on. The first reason is that this is our identity. George Fox University is a Christian university founded on Christian ideals and principles and beliefs, and that is who we are. Anytime you join an organization or participate in the organization, it's important for you to understand what it stands for, what is its identity, because every organization has an identity. And that is one of the reasons why we believe it's important for you to take Christian Faith and Thought. This is what we believe. The second reason has to do with it being part of our mission. And our mission is to prepare you academically and professionally, but also spiritually. Now, throughout your course of study, I hope that you have been um, receiving some kind of spiritual instruction formation. But this is a place in Christian Faith and Thought where we actually concentrate on that spiritual development. So that's another reason why we require that people take Christian Faith and Thought. It's part of our mission. The third reason has to do with our belief in transformational education. And the reason I mention this is as part of our thinking behind requiring Christian Faith and Thought is because in this course, this is where you are going to take a good hard look at your what we call worldview, how you view the world, how you interpret the world, how you take in information and what you choose to believe or not to believe, or what you've come to believe without even realizing it. And transformational education simply means that you're going to take a look at this and look at the different ways of uh, understanding the world, and where needed, make a change in your thinking, not forced on you, but giving you the opportunity to evaluate your own worldview and then thinking carefully and evaluating clearly those things that you truly do believe and you want to base your life upon. So it will require change, transformational education. The final reason that it's important, or I believe essential for us um, in Christian Faith and Thought, is to develop a way or a means of talking to each other about something as explosive, that can be explosive, as religion. If you grew up in a family like mine, there were two topics that you were always told you could not discuss in family gatherings. One was politics, and one was religion, because these were considered, or they are considered, very divisive issues. And I think in our time in history and our culture, it is extremely important for us to learn how to talk to one another in a respectful, civil manner, how we can converse about our differences or our similarities when it comes to our understanding of religion. And of course, religion is a very, very deeply personal in many ways matter. So I would say that the fourth reason that we take Christian faith and thought, or we require it, so that we can learn how to be civil to one another, how we can be respectful. I call this civility. How we learn to talk to each other about our different understanding of beliefs, how we learn to respect one another. We don't have to agree with each other. We can disagree, and of course we should. Civility means that we learn how to disagree in a way that does not um, denigrate or demolish or damage the other person. So, those are the four reasons. It's our identity, it's part of our mission, it's part of our transformational educational philosophy, and it teaches us civility. So, that's the groundwork for Christian faith and thought. Now, I want to get into some other things as we get to, I want to talk about what you will be doing in the course. The importance of learning about Christian faith and thought comes out of some observations, of my own observations, as a matter of fact. Is first of all, I sense that many people have a very limited understanding of Christianity, and even those who call themselves Christians are often unaware of what Christianity really is about. I also find that there are many people who have been hurt by the church leadership, and what the kinds of things that have happened in a church, the conflicts that have arisen. People have been so hurt that they have walked away from church and therefore from Christianity. And finally, there are people who look at Christians and see that the behavior of some Christians really doesn't seem to line up with what they understand the teachings of Christianity. And then, of course, there are those people who are very committed to their Christian faith. All of these people come together in our classroom. Some people have walked away from Christianity. Some people don't want to know anything about Christianity. Some people are very strongly Christian. And some people are confused by all of the different voices in Christianity. So, what we want to attempt to do in Christian faith and thought is come to what is the essence? What does it mean to be a Christian in terms of what you believe, in terms of how you conduct your life, and in terms of your behavior? So we'll be talking about all of those things as we go along. The course does not require you to know the Bible. It doesn't require you to have any knowledge of Christianity. We will be looking at the Bible, but not in the sense of testing you to see what your knowledge is. So I hope that you will, after listening to this part, you will have a sense that you can breathe a sigh of relief because you will not be tested on your biblical knowledge. You can breathe a sigh of relief because you do not have to be a Christian to take this course. You can breathe a sigh of relief because you can be confused or not even care about Christian faith and still be part of this course. Now, what are we going to do in this course? And this is what I want to conclude this video with, the topics that we'll be talking about. You will be reading the book Surprised by Joy, which is written by C.S. Lewis. It's autobiographical, and it talks about his journey to faith, where he started, the things that were influential in his life. And when he came out, he went through a phase of denouncing his Christianity, becoming an atheist, and then the process of coming to faith in Christ and what that meant for him. Now, Surprised by Joy is, as I said, written by C.S. Lewis. It's autobiographical. It takes place in a time that is unfamiliar to all of us. And he was British, so he uses language that may be a bit difficult to understand at times. So along with Surprised by Joy, you're going to be watching some videos that chronicle the life of Lewis as well. And I want you to do both things because the book Surprised by Joy gives you the insider's view of how he was living life and what he experienced. And I think many people will be able to identify with certain, if not all, pieces of his life. And then the videos that you're to watch about his life is the outsider's view, what people observed in him, and the facts, if you will. So I hope that those two things will complement. And I want you to pay attention to the progression of Lewis's life, how he starts out, the kinds of negative things that he experienced, the decisions that he made, how his worldview, in other words, was shaped. What were the things that went into making his worldview? The second text that you'll be reading is called Hidden Worldviews: 8 Cultural Stories That Shape the Way We Live. These hidden worldviews are cultural influences that we may or may not be aware of. And as you read each chapter, I want you to be thinking about how much has this particular cultural story influenced how I view the world, influenced how my understanding of faith, influenced my own values and belief system. Along the way, you'll be reading some other things, and you'll be doing some critical reflection essays on particular concepts, points that will come across in our reading and discussion. In your forums, each week you will be looking at a particular passage of the New Testament, a passage from one of the Gospels, and that passage is already there in the forum, so you don't have to go looking for it. However, there is the online Bible that is in the resource section of Foxtail, the English Standard Version, ESV, and that is the version that I would ask you to use for this course. As I said, the passage that you are to read is already there in the instructions for the forum. Please read carefully the instructions. There are questions to respond to. Please note the word limitations. That's important to keep in mind. And then finally, you're starting out the course by writing your spiritual journey to this point. There's 3 questions that you have to answer. And then at the end of all of this course, you will be asked to write your philosophy of life, where you'll have some questions to respond to. And as we get closer to that, I will explain that a little bit more. But the progression of the course is to be thinking about your particular worldview, to be thinking about what Christianity says about the world, about humans, about life, what Jesus himself, who is the founder of Christianity, the center of Christianity, and then to be thinking about how Christianity views different concepts like moral relativism and human rights. So those are the things that you'll be taking a look at. As you go through the course, whenever you have a question or a difficulty, please don't hesitate to contact me, and I will be glad to answer any questions that I can, help you in any way that I can. Read the syllabus, read it carefully. There you will find everything you need to complete the course successfully. This is a longer video than usual, and I thank you for watching it all the way through. I will make future videos much shorter. So enjoy the course, and I look forward to getting to know you as we enter into discussion. Take care, and I'll talk to you later.